This is not a sad story, and it's definitely not about chickens. In fact, our story begins 21 years ago. It's way older than these chickens. It's a story about a little village that's gone through 21 years of transformation, where people have changed, and people now own their community. It's about empowerment. It's about impacting lives. It's a small village, but with an amazing story. Flashing toilets in the middle of nowhere. I met a woman that uses cow dung to cook. Imagine stir-fried chicken made from cow dung. Everything is possible in Chidobe village. Like I said, it's an amazing story. And it's taken 21 years.
This is a gas stove, but mostly you use cow dung to make up the gas. You have to fill the thing you are looking at. You fill up your cow dung up till to 1,000 liters. Let's come here. You first put with water your cow dung. When it's wet, that's when you pour in the 1,000 liters. There is where the whole cow dung goes in.
So it goes into that and it's airtight.
Yes. And let's go right round then. I'll show you when it's breathing, it takes all the mud, the cow dung out from, and brings up here. You will know now it's been cooked up.
Not too far from this Chidobe biogas factory is a hive of activity. Community women, busy sewing, learning how to sew. Now this is a story of empowerment. Learning how to sew, making school uniforms for their community. It's taken 21 years, but I also had an opportunity to meet another powerful story. From the sand to the sea. I call him the Prince of Seas.
My name is Rizin Shlanga. I've been to the Caribbean. I've done Montego Bay, Jamaica. I've done the Grand Tech. I've done Willemstad. I've been to the Baltics. I've been to the Mediterranean. I've been everywhere, man.
Did you ever think that you're going to travel this much, like when you were a kid?
It's actually a miracle, man. I never thought I'd reach this level. So it started when I was a small boy by Chidobe Primary School there. My dad was a school teacher there. So my dad was coordinating a few projects with the Fords because the Fords were sponsoring the school. And after Alex Raphael died, they formed what they called the Alex Raphael Memorial Fund. So this fund was helping the school. I remember they built a classroom block and so many projects that they were sponsoring in the school there. So when my dad was coordinating that with the Fords, and it happened unfortunately that he died. So after that, when we moved into town, into Victoria Falls, that's where I finished my primary education. So the Fords spotted me and they wanted to do more for me from that time because they knew that life was hard since my dad had passed away. So they incorporated me into the Alex Raphael Memorial Fund, and they looked for sponsors for me who could pay for my school fees. So I remember that was Christine and Stuart together with them. So they sent me to a boarding school. They were paying my school fees, they buying groceries, pocket money. I didn't need anything at school because I had everything that I needed at school. So what I needed to do was to concentrate on my books, read and pass, and that's exactly what I did. You know, the Fords have been so amazing. They've done quite a lot for the community, for that community. I cannot really tell it all. You know, they have right now they are providing water, clean water for the school. They've been building and renovating classes. They've been providing furniture for the school. They've been building their houses for the school teachers. They even have a soccer team there. They're sponsoring the jerseys and all that. Uniforms for the school kids. They feed the school kids every day of the year. You can imagine. It's so much that they're doing for that community. Okay, so basically I've known the Fords for almost 20 years now, because they took me up in 2003, so that's almost 20 years until now. But they've been doing this project for Chidobe community for quite a long time already, so it's been quite a long time.
Mina ibizo lami nguSibusiso Mpofu. I'm Reason Mhlanga's mother. Reason owenzakalayo ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi waye grade 7.
It happened that when he was in grade 7.
And okwakuyinyanga sikhangelela ukuthi uyabhala ama exams.
It was just 2 weeks before his final examination.
When the father passed away. So owenzakalayo ukuthi njengoba sasivele siqale siseSidobe, so osu Ford sasihlangane labo eSidobe.
Just because we were at Chidobe before and we had already met the Fords before.
So sathola uncedo kubo Ford.
That's how we found help from the Fords.
Bangincedisa kakhulu ngoba ngangingakwazi ukuthi ngizaqalisela ngangingakwazi ukubamba ukuthi ngizabamba ngaphi.
They helped us through a lot because I didn't know even where to touch at that time.
Kodwa bangincedisa, babembhadalela school fees, bethenga grocery, bethenga ama uniforms.
They used to pay for his school fees, buying his groceries and all his school uniforms.
Bencedisa kikho konke nje okwakumele bekuncedise ukuqondane lesikolo.
And they were helping about everything that was entailing with school. If I would meet somebody who's in the same situation, I would basically tell them it's all about you. It's about what you want to do yourself. It comes from deep down yourself. You just have to set targets for yourself, put objectives for yourself, crush every objective one by one, and reach your goals. You can make it to the top. You need to inspire somebody. That's what I wanted to do. My goal was, I didn't want to let them down. I wanted to give it my all because I wanted to make them proud, because they put so much money into this project. And I wanted to inspire somebody at the end of the day. Just like today as I speak, I'm not yet done, because I would say I'm going to be down at the moment when I'm able to help somebody also. So I still want to do more. I still want to get more finance. And when I get stable, I want to plow back to the community also. I want to give it to somebody also. I want to help somebody.
Yikho okwenzakalayo. Ford ngiyababonga kakhulu ngoba lapho esikhona kathesi nxa ngikhumbula kungayisibo ngabe kasikho kulesi isigaba esikiso sona.
So I would like to thank the Fords so much, because we wouldn't have reached this level without them.
We had first the engine, which was supplying us with water. We call Mona pump. We're using Mona pump at the beginning. From Mona pump, we went up to submissive pump. From there, well, we went up to the solar system, which we are using now. We are happy because there's no cost of ZESA and all sort of thing. It just goes up freely by the sun. As well, we really love the Sue Ford doing this for us. She does a lot of help in the community. So we love him, and then we'll remain loving her even she's dead. We'll think of her. That's all honestly what she did for us. It's lovely. And that's economizing to the community. Well, now she has just done uniforms for every ECD child, which is very, very much grateful. So parents will get 1 or 2 pieces of their dollars and buy something instead of buy uniforms when school opens. We love that, lovely. And then she made a number of things like flush toilets, which only are seen in town, but we have got it in the rural area. We have got a tennis court which she has just done for this school, which we are using. We are almost like town. I can say it's only us in the rural district where we have got the tennis court. Going further is a lot what Sue has done. A school block, she did for us. A fence, she did for us. All these things for the young ones, she did for us. We've got a teacher's cottage, which she did for us. And we've got what again? Well, it's a number of things, honestly, that I can, even feeding kids. She's the one who does feeding kids, the ECD ones. And well, she helps again with others, but mostly she's basically on the young ones, ECD kids, on feeding. All kids are being fed, and Sue is great. She now volunteered to pay for whoever is cooking a little bit, whatever she can get, so that she'll be having that morale of doing everything. All right.
Good day, beautiful people. I am Happiness Ispanda and I stay in Chidobe, but now in Victoria Falls. I want to tell you about my story, how I came to know Mr. and Mrs. Ford's family, how they were so beneficial to me. I learned here from grade 1 up to grade 7 at Chidobe Primary School, where I am today. And when I was in grade 7, my parents had passed away, so that's when I got sponsored by Mrs. Ford. She told me to choose the school which I wanted to go to. Then I wanted to go to Binga because I'd heard of hot springs, to be honest with you. So I went to Binga. I did my Form 1 to Form 4 with the help of Cambridge Businesswoman and Claire. I did my Form 1 up to Form 4 at Binga High School. I came up with 9 A's and 2 B's, and that was a pass. So I then went to my high school at Binga High again, where I did commercials, computing, accounting, and mathematics. Fortunate enough, I did very well, and with the help of Mr. and Mrs. Ford, I'm sure I wouldn't be where I am today. It all comes from them. Today I managed to smile. I managed to talk to other people without feeling so shy. I managed to do other things which I couldn't have done without them. I remember when my parents passed away, I thought the world had come to an end. Things were so bad with me. My emotional life, everything was so bad with me. I never had hope. I never thought of this day. I never thought I could smile one day. I never thought I could have a certificate which brings smiles to my face. Okay, right now I'm working for veterinary surgery, and I am so happy, to be honest with you. It's all because of Mr. and Mrs. Ford that I'm now experienced. I know how to treat elephants. I know how to treat lions, leopards, and all the animals. I know how to liaise with the things that doesn't talk. And all thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Ford and the Cambridge Businesswoman. I know that if it weren't for their support, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would have been married or impregnated or being abused somewhere, I don't know where. And to Mr. and Mrs. Ford, Cambridge businesswoman, and Claire, Nancy, and everyone, I just want to express my sincere gratitude. I'm so much grateful for what you've done for me. May your kind hands continue helping other people. I'm so happy that you got in my life and changed the start of my life. Today I managed to smile because you are my smile keepers. If it weren't for you, I don't know where I would have been. That's the least I could say.
Chidobe School has got about 300 kids. And the footage you're watching right now is from October 2019. And the Fords, together with their friends and family, have continued to support the school. And when they look at these kids, I'm sure they see the potential. Remember reason, remember happiness was just one of these kids a few years ago. Every single one of them is potential, and potential needs nourishment. Amongst them, we probably have the doctors that are going to solve some of the biggest problems that we have. Engineers that are going to solve the energy crisis that we're most likely going to have. And you know, when I look at these uniforms and having seen where they came from, made by the same community, their mothers, just ordinary people in their community making uniforms for their own kids. What happened is that the Fords bought the material, and then the women from the community sewed the uniforms for free. Now this is a powerful story. This is changing lives. This is touching lives. And every single one of those kids has a story. And then the other thing as well is that they support a football team. We'll talk about that later. But for now, look at that uniform. This is where it came from. She didn't know who she was making it for. They didn't know who they were making the uniforms for. They just knew that it's one of us. Just that unity as a village. You can't put a price to it. Contributing to their own future. Now that's empowerment. Someone donated these machines. Someone taught them how to sew. And now, these women are making an impact in their community. It's taken 21 years. Unfortunately, I had to leave before a photocopying machine arrived. It was supposed to arrive the next day. That was donated to the school by the same Fords again. It's going to save them money because every time they have to go and pay to have their exam papers printed. But now they can do their own printing locally. And there's Ford United. I hope one day they'll make it to the league. But being Chidobe, everything is possible. Now you'd ask yourself a question. These Samaritans in the dark, they've been doing it for 21 years. No one's spoken about it, no one said anything about it. All this charity work in the dark, not mentioned, not published. And you ask yourself why. Not why has the story not been told, but why have they done it for 21 years? I think maybe it's because they understand what it means to be human. That it's about impacting lives, it's about doing good for others, doing the little that you can.
Hello, I'm Sue Ford from a village in Essex, Saffron Walden, and the village is called Ashton. In 1998, my husband and myself came to Zimbabwe on holiday. We were having such a lovely time and we reached Vic Falls. Our 5 children were at home, either being looked after or they were at university. Alex, our first son, was staying with friends, and we were here on the 30th of September when we had the tragic news that he had died in Adam Brooks Hospital in Cambridge of meningitis. It was the bacteria version of meningitis, so it was meningococcal septicemia. So you can imagine the shock that caused us. We were devastated, obviously, and had to get home as soon as possible. And on the way home on the plane, we decided not to have flowers at his funeral. We would support a school that we had visited the day before called Chidobe, near Vic Falls. Chidobe's school had very little classrooms, and some of the children were learning under a tree in scorching heat, 40 degrees heat. So at his funeral, we collected money, and we thought we'd just have enough to provide some books, but we had enough to build a classroom block in his memory. So we built this classroom block with all the local people at Chidobe, so we gave them the work, and the classroom block was opened in memory of the Alex Raphael Memorial Fund. That was 21 years ago, and we're still coming back twice a year, but laterally once a year, and we raise funds at home to spend on the school. So we physically come out here and spend our money. So we built classroom block. We put a security fence around. We built a sports court. We built a playground. We put running water with standpipes so they wouldn't have to go to the well. We provided water tanks, solar panels, all their exercise books, their textbooks, their uniforms, their furniture, so they can sit and have desks in the classrooms. We've clothed the villagers. We've bought industrial sewing machines to help the ladies to make their own clothes, to make clothes for the school. We've bought ladies chickens so they can help themselves to provide an income for themselves. We've supported individual children to carry on their education at secondary school, sending them to boarding schools. We do a feeding programme, so the children are fed 3 times a week. So what's the point of them going to school? They can't learn if they're hungry.